Hi guys, I thought I would do a couple of quick answers to prayer. So I'm going through my cards here, and there's this one. This is one where I was actually cleaning the kitchen, and I wasn't really aware that I was praying. I just was going through a difficult time because I have a brother that is adopted, and he was really struggling, and he was actually going through cocaine. He was deep into cocaine and really struggling with that. And I just prayed, and I said, God, why does it have to be this hard? And I remember I was wiping down the counter, and it was one of those times where the Lord spoke to my spirit. And as soon as I prayed that, without even really being aware that I was praying, I was just kind of thinking through the stuff we were going through. And God, why does it have to be this hard? And as soon as I prayed that, right away, in my spirit, I felt, you asked to be used. And it was just, I can't even describe it. It was like I was working through something difficult emotionally. I had this question, and there was the answer. And I know 4 words, you asked to be used, I guess 5 words. And I know as much as if somebody had spoken that to me, that was the answer, and that was God speaking to my spirit. So I don't know how many times God has spoken quite that dramatically. I don't know if you've experienced anything like that, but that was the question, that was the answer. And it was just God speaking to my spirit. And I knew what it meant. I understood. Like, yeah, when we ask to be used, we don't get out of hard stuff. Sometimes life gets really hard, and we have to experience it. And God doesn't take away the hard stuff in our life when we become Christians and when we submit to Him. But He does do this amazing thing, and it's called but God. And there's so many times in the Bible where it says either the enemy meant something for evil or man meant this for evil, but God, He turned around and He used it for good. So that was a really difficult time when my brother was going through everything with cocaine. I'm so thankful for Teen Challenge. He was able to go there 3 times actually over the next few years. It has been a very difficult time in our family's life, and I'm not going to go on about it too much. I wish I didn't know anything about having a brother that struggles with cocaine. It's if you've experienced something like that, it's a nightmare to live through. There was a time where I just felt like I know he's gonna die. And there was a time when I just thought, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can go through that, the funeral and everything. And all of a sudden I shocked myself by thinking, I wish it was over. I wish he was dead already. And then that was awful. Just what an awful thing to think. And if you haven't been here, you don't maybe understand any of this, because sometimes when we think we would react a certain way, sometimes we're shocked when our emotions and our body reacts a whole different way. And so I guess the reason I tell you this story is mostly because I want you to know that sometimes God speaks just in your spirit, and you have conversations with Him and He answers. A lot of times, if I have conversations with God, like in my quiet prayer time, the conversation is more like a deep sense, I'm going to say. I'm talking and asking a question, and then I'm listening, and quite often a verse will come to mind. The other day I was in my prayer time, and I asked Him something, and something I had read, a story came to mind from the newspaper that I had read years ago that I haven't thought about for years, and I just was able to say, Lord, what does that mean? And just He brought to mind what it meant. So sometimes God speaks to us in our spirit like that. It happens usually in quiet times, but I just wanted to share that about wiping down the counter, asking a question, having the answer come in my spirit. So that's that one. I do want to speak to the cocaine thing also. If you have a family member that's dealing with struggle with drugs and alcohol, I can't speak enough about places like Teen Challenge. I think it's called Adult and Teen Challenge right now. That was so amazing and wonderful, and I'm so thankful for it. He still relapsed. It's a deeper issue, and sometimes there's still sometimes answers don't come in the way that we hope. There's been times when this brother has been the one that I can speak to about spiritual things the most because he understands. He loved being at Teen Challenge, so I'm thankful for places like that. Seek out places like that where you can get support and you can help. Just ask the Lord to bring people into your life also that can show you, lead you where to go to get help. It's a very destructive to families when one member or more are dealing with something like that, and it's just very destructive.